Hello everybody, welcome back to Steve's Gear. And today we're back with another knife. So I picked up another one. I picked up the Vosteed Raccoon. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at it, and then I'm going to kind of compare it to a couple other knives. So I'm thinking about using this one for work, not because I really need to, just because knives are like crack and I just keep buying them. But well, yeah, we're going to go ahead and check it out. So let's take a look at the box. There's a little info there on the back if you want to see it. On the inside, you do get a couple little goodies in there. Let's get a little card that talks about the warranty, how to get a hold of them. You get a little wanted, dead or alive sticker, which is kind of cool. You do get a extra set of Omega springs, a little cleaning cloth, and then you get in there a little brochure that talks about safety and maintenance and stuff like that. And it just comes wrapped in a little plastic bag. So I picked this one up off Amazon for $59, and I opted for the micarta crossbar style lock. Obviously I got the black coated blade, and yeah, I think for the price, I think it's a pretty good option for the price, to be honest. I'm a big fan of the crossbar lock, or the access lock, whatever you want to call it, just because I am left-handed. So super easy to use, either hand. The dual thumb studs work out nice, and yeah, good for lefties. You can also reverse the pocket clip. I haven't changed it over yet, but you can reverse it. This one comes in just a little Vosteed logo there, and then on this side you do get the 14C28N blade steel on this. So not a super steel, but for what I'm going to use it for, it'll be more than enough steel. When I say I'm going to use this for a work knife, I don't want to put off the impression that I, do anything super crazy with the knives. I do use them a lot during the day. Probably I'd say maybe 10, 15 times a day. It's cutting boxes open to install parts, or cutting tape, or cutting zip ties, or I cut a lot of like little thin pieces of plastic and stuff. So I do use the knives, but I don't, not do anything super crazy with them. I do also wear gloves quite often, so having something that's able to be used with gloves is also a benefit for me. The crossbar lock will work out fine with that. And then I like that the thumb studs are, they're not big by any means, but they do have a little bit of bulk on them, so easy to get in there and hit them. And then, yeah. And it is smooth action. So inside the knife, I don't know if you're going to be able to see them, but there is some liners in there. They're kind of got a little bit drilled out for some weight reduction. Fit and finish seems good. Not a lot of flexing or anything. No weird creaks. Everything seems tight. Blade has no blade up and down, side to side. Comes up perfectly centered out of the box. The micarta, I really like this micarta. I don't have a ton of micarta stuff, and micarta is really growing on me. It's got a good texture. It's not like overly resined where you can't feel the texture. I mean, you can feel it. We could even kind of see, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but you can even kind of see the fibers in there. Over time, kind of the oils off your hands and stuff, this will darken up and kind of change color, and it'll build patina, which is nice. So I like it. The pocket clip is nice. I've seen a lot of people comment on the pocket clip being nice. I do like that it does have more of a little bit of the flatter style bill there, and it's not super tight. So I'm excited for that, because my work pants, the pocket has like a kind of like a reinforced lip, and so it's a little bit thicker. And some of these knives, the pocket clips are so tight that it's a pain to get them in and out. So this one I think is going to work out pretty good. I like this, there's minimal branding. So just a good knife. I think it'll be, perfect for what I'm going to use it for. But let's compare it to some of the other ones. So I want to compare it to some other ones here. These are all knives that I kind of bought with the intentions of using them for work. And you guys can chime in, let me know what you think your favorites are and what you think's the best. There's no wrong answer. I don't judge anybody on what knives they decide they want to use. So one of them is the Civivi Elementum 2. I did a video on this quite a while back. So I do have that one. So we'll just kind of line them up pivot to pivot. The one that I currently use for work is the Kubi Coeus. So that one I've been using for probably almost 6 months, I think. And then I went ahead and grabbed the QSP Penguin. So I went ahead and threw one of those in there. So all these ones, now Obviously, there's different versions and colors of different prices and things like that, but overall, they're fairly the same ballpark. Like I said, the Raccoon came in at $59. The Kubi right now is only $40, so it's a little bit less expensive. The Elementum 2, this same version, comes in right now at $65. And then the Penguin, there's lots of different options for the Penguin. This one is a slightly, a little bit, I guess you could say, better version. This one has an M390 blade and it has these white scales. So this one came in at about $90. But I know you can pick up the Penguin all the way down to, I think, $30. So plenty of budget options on there, depending on what you're looking for. All these knives kind of have, small cons, small pros. Nothing on these knives would hinder me from wanting to use them. Like I said, this one here I picked up. This was actually a recommendation from Florida Boy EDC. I was using an old Benchmade for work, and I dropped it, broke the tip off. I did a video a while back, like on the warranty thing on it, about them fixing it and stuff. But after I broke the tip off of it, I thought, I'm going to go a little bit more budget, I think. Plus, I've lost a few knives. That I can remember, I know I lost a Spyderco Dragonfly, and I know I lost a Spyderco, I think it was called the Ambiguous, I think. So I've lost a few. I travel a lot. I work inside, I work outside. I work out of a service vehicle, so sometimes I leave them out of sight, in a different city or something. And, so I've been on a good streak of not losing them, so I've had this one for a long time. Haven't broke the tip. It's worked out just fine. This one has the liner lock, but this one is like the ideal reverse flicker knife. I mean, this is the fidget knife out of all of them. A lot of times I'll just drive down the road and just be reverse flicking this thing as I'm traveling. So good knife. I like the blade shape. The blade shapes came in real handy. Nice thin slicer. Cuts through cardboard really well. Things like that. Ergonomics are good. I like the little ramp it has. Good knife. It does have kind of one of the larger style bills there on the pocket clip, but it's not super tight, so it does come in and out of the pants for me halfway decent. But yeah, overall, just a great knife. Can't really say much bad about this one. Even after all the use I gave it, still lines up centered, still smooth. It doesn't drop shut as smooth as it used to. I probably need to pull it apart and clean it up a little bit, but I'm sure it's full of dust and lint and stuff. But yeah, it works out really good. The Penguin's the one I got the least amount of pocket time with. I just haven't got around to carrying this one. I also am kind of a creature of habit. A lot of times I find a knife and I like it. I get used to it for work. I'll carry the same one for months on end. I need to get better with switching them up and trying out different ones, but the action on the Penguin, I would say, is probably one of the best. I mean, it is just a hard firer, and it's almost impossible to mess up a fire of this Penguin. Liner works good, nice and smooth. A little bit of shake, almost drop shot with a little shake. But yeah, quality on this one's good. It does have the blade shape that I think it's called the sheep's foot blade. I'm not a knife expert, so yeah, this is obviously a pretty popular blade shape. I think it would work just fine for everything I'm going to use it for. Ergonomics on it are good. I mean, all around it's a pretty good one. I would say the pocket clip's probably the biggest downfall for me. It's the one screw construction, which I think should work all right, but it's just super tight. I mean, I think I would struggle to get this one in and out of the pocket quite a bit. So other than that, though, I think the Penguin, definitely a good option. I really like this little guy here. The Elementum 2, I should say. It's a good one. I haven't carried it a ton for work. I did carry it off and on for a few days. Carried it in my personal, just as a personal knife around town and stuff quite a bit. It's worked out fine. It's got that Nitro V steel. I haven't had to sharpen it yet. It's still pretty sharp. It's getting a little dull in some spots, but it broke down a lot of cardboard with this knife. Little things like that, it's around the house, so probably could use it to be touched up a little bit. I'm not the hugest fan of flippers. I mean, I don't have anything against them, but I just don't prefer them. Same thing with the button lock. This is my only button lock knife, and while it does work pretty good, I found that you kind of have to get the exact pressure for it to close and stay shut. A lot of times if I just close it, it kind of bounces, and sometimes it'll bounce and not like that. And, you know, it happens quite a bit. And, you know, you got to be careful when you go to put it in the pocket to make sure the blade actually stuck all the way in. I would say that's the only downfall. You know, maybe there's a way to fix that, but after you carry it for a little bit, you kind of get, at least for me, I've kind of found the exact pressure to push it where it stays down. But sometimes if you're in a hurry, you know, you push it too hard or something, and it'll stick out a little bit. That's kind of the big downfall. Clip works out decent. This one's non-reversible, so you're kind of stuck with, you know, the clip on one side, unfortunately, but it does still work just fine, you know, with the left hand. So you just can't reverse the pocket clip, but I like the looks of it. Ergonomics I like on it. Does fit in the hand well. It's got nice jumping. All around fits me pretty well. So another solid option for you. But I think if you were to average them all out, that's where I think this Raccoon probably comes in, probably towards the top for me, just because I am a big, you know, axis lock fan. You know, I do like that style lock. It's just the easiest for me to manipulate. You know, this one does have that drop point blade, like I said, that I like. But it's got a little bit bigger belly than, say, like the Civivi. I think it'll just be it should be a good slicer. Like I said, I can't honestly say I haven't used it. I just opened it up last night. But, yeah, the materials, even though a lot of times, like I said, I wear gloves, I just prefer the feeling and the texture of this micarta over the other G10 variants. So I don't know. I think for this one, I will throw it in the rotation for work. I think this will be the new one I stick in the pocket. Who knows? It may be 6 months I'll roll with this thing before I switch to something else. Or, you know, maybe I'll find some reason I don't like it after a couple days. Who knows? But if you guys are interested in seeing an updated video on it, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to do one. I might throw one out anyways, just letting you guys know how it's went. Quick little video. But out of those knives, which one's your favorite? Which one would you prefer to carry for your work if you were going to carry one for you know, a while? I'd be interested to hear. There's no wrong answer. You know, I'm not going to judge you on which one you like. That's the cool thing about the knife world, is there's so many different options and brands and sizes and colors that, you know, whatever someone wants to use, it's fine. Another popular one that I haven't got to test out yet is the Pyrite. I almost picked that one up, but I know that's kind of a popular one right now, so I kind of wondered how that would stack up, you know, with these. I think it'll, you know, fit in the range pretty easy. But yeah, let me know what you like. You know, let me know what you use. That's all I pretty much got for you guys today. Thanks a lot for checking it out. I will link these versions of the knives in the descriptions if you want to check them out. But other than that, I hope you all have a great day. Talk to you later.